All right, at any moment he can and could walk in, and I'm very excited about this. This is someone that I've never met, but I have known about for the longest time because I've been working for iHeart Radio. I started when I was in high school, actually, and his name is Enrique Santos, who you could hear now on the new signal, Rumba 95.7. So if you love Spanish music and honest to God, a fantastic radio program, make sure you listen. See, that's how kind we are. We tell people to listen to other shows in the morning because why not? And we're going to get ready for iHeartRadio's Fiesta Latina, which is going down in Miami, and we'll discuss all of that. So here's the deal. This guy, if you don't know, is to the level of Ryan Seacrest for our company. You know, Ryan Seacrest actually works for the same company as us. He in a way, is our coworker, believe it or not. So he is that level of fame. And he is based out of Miami, Florida. And I don't know why I just said Florida, but anyways, he's based out of Miami. And he came to these studios because it's a big celebration right now in our building. This is like super exciting stuff. And we love Sadi Carmen, so this is really big for her. She has run that station and done everything for that station to make sure that it is at the level that it should be, and it has been. And because of how great it is, they said, you know what? We're going to give them a bigger radio signal so more people in Florida can listen to 95.7 Rumba. So it's a big celebration in our building. I'm talking about every radio show that's on that station, because with iHeart, we all broadcast in different places,
we do.
Right? And they came into Tampa and were hanging out with all of us. And this was pretty damn cool. I'm not going to lie. So yesterday, breakfast was catered. Lunch was catered. So much food that I never do this. Ashley's going to be jealous. I got to take home a ton of food. I took home like 5 chicken breasts, a ton of pulled pork, a ton of stuff, and it's delicious. So I was very thankful and gracious. And truthfully, you know, we're the youngest morning show in the company. There was no other show in our company that is to the age range of us, and we're so blessed and lucky enough to be able to do this. And one day I hope to get to that level. I hope that as a show we do. And now we have Enrique Santos in the studio.
Good morning.
I'm like starstruck right now. This is amazing. How are you? It's so good to meet you. It's so good to meet you.
Thank you.
So Enrique, we were talking about Fiesta Latina, which I want to talk about, and how people need to get to Miami, and this is without a doubt the most exciting festival that goes down in Florida. But I also want to talk about yesterday. So yesterday we had the breakfast catered, we had lunch catered. Now, I walked around to everyone, okay? And I told everyone about how you are what I want to be one day, which is as graciously good for catering breakfast and lunch. Okay? Then I was told that you did not do that, and it was... Did you cater the breakfast and the lunch?
Of course I did. Did you enjoy it?
It was so good.
Always take credit for things even though you didn't do it. You know?
Okay, good. Okay, all right, good.
Why wouldn't I take credit for it?
Okay, good. Then I'm going to continue to tell everyone that.
Okay, thanks.
Because our boss, Tommy, walked up to me and he goes, hey, just so you know, it was everyone, like the work catered it.
Of course, man. Do you know what time I had to wake up yesterday to scramble those eggs?
Well, and I told people that too. I said, you made all the food as well.
I'm a horrible cook, man.
Okay, no. Well, I'm going to tell everyone that's not the case. That you did
your
all
baking
of that.
was
So
really
one more
good.
time. Thanks.
Well,
Thank you so much
bacon's
for doing that.
it's pretty hard to mess up, right?
It is.
Even in the microwave, you can get
Evidently,
away.
I messed that up. So.
Listen, I burn water. Yeah, I'm horrible.
Can we talk about Fiesta Latina and all that's going on with it?
Thanks for having me. Really excited about Fiesta Latina this year. It's our 11th year celebrating our culture and our music, and we're bringing things together. We got a lot of surprises. But for our Latino music lovers, we have Fade, who's going to be receiving the iHeartRadio Corazon Latino Award. We have Sebastián Yatra. We have Manuel Turizo. We have Maria Becerra. We have Chencho, the best in the top of Latin music. And we got a bunch of surprises as well. And we're 23 days away.
It's coming up real soon.
Real quick, man. Saturday, October 26th at the Casella Center in Miami. I'm psyched. I'm happy. And it's a good excuse for everyone in Tampa to make it out to the 305.
Yeah,
right?
dale.
Enrique, are you from Miami?
So I was born in Chicago, Illinois. My parents are Cuban. I was raised in Miami.
Wow. I used to say your show in Chicago for Kiss FM.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And so
Thank
this
you
is
so
crazy.
much.
We have Chicago ties.
We're the Windy City people.
Yeah.
I'm 25% Cuban.
En serio?
I don't know what that means.
I asked you, are you serious?
Oh, no, I'm serious. What happened? So my grandpa was in school and actually was in school with Fidel Castro.
Really?
Which you actually have an incredible story. Maybe we could tell that if you
absolutely
want. Like an incredible. I don't know if you guys know it. I was talking to Dennis Clark, who we love.
Shout out to Dennis. We love you, Dennis.
Yes, we do.
And so he was in that, defected, came to Miami, then went to Boston, became a doctor. And his big thing was he's just so heartbroken, couldn't see his family and everything. He didn't really teach us Spanish and was kind of more like he wanted to hide it in a way. But that's something that all of us still wish we could. But
it's funny you mention that. And that's a cultural thing, right? And it depends. It's like depending on what Latino country you're from. Like I've talked to a lot of Mexican friends, and when they were young, like my generation, their parents and grandparents didn't want them speaking Spanish when they assimilated to the United States. They was like, no, because we got to blend in, right? In my case, being Cuban American, I'm fully bicultural and bilingual because my parents told me, no, en esta casa vas a hablar en español. You speak Spanish here at home because in school and with your cousins, you're going to talk all the English you want. We don't want you to lose your language. And thanks to that, I'm fully bilingual and bicultural, and I've had a successful career in Spanish media because I'm fully bilingual. So I'm grateful for that. But it's nothing to be ashamed of. They have like some people have named it the no sabos, people that are Latinos that don't speak Spanish, and other people criticize if you don't speak perfect Spanish. Who cares how you speak it, and and it doesn't have to be Spanish. A second, third language, it just opens up so many more opportunities for us in the world.
I genuinely believe that you are the most talented person in radio. I genuinely do, because I don't know if you talk about it much, but you are much more than just the morning show host around the country and also on the move, which now you can hear Saturday nights on FLZ, which is always so much fun to listen to. It's like the great soundtrack for the weekend.
Thank you.
But you run. Don't you run like iHeart Radio Latina? Could you tell me about that, or am I wrong on that?
You're not wrong. Thank you for your kind words. Very proud of all the many hats that I wear within our iHeart world at iHeart Media. See, I'm president of iHeart Latino, so I run all of our Spanish content and direction. And our Spanish radio stations and Latino radio stations nationwide. I'm also the co-founder of the My Cultura podcast network on iHeart Radio, and I host my Spanish syndicated show and On the Move. Thank you to all our listeners that listen every Saturday night here on FLZ, On the Move now with my boy DJ Extreme as well.
Do you sleep at all?
I don't sleep enough.
It's crazy.
But we sleep when we die.
Yeah,
we're blessed. Right. We're blessed to have this amazing medium called radio that connects us in such a real and authentic and genuine way that, not even podcasting is fantastic, TV is amazing, but nothing connects people the way radio does and impacts and truly touches hearts and souls, and you can impact people's lives in such a positive way.
Did you take listeners out to lunch yesterday?
We did. And you know what? It was cool getting to, and that's one of the main things that I love about doing morning radio, and you guys can identify, right? We're stuck here in the studio.
Yep.
We're talking to people, and we're talking into this mic, and you don't know how many ears and how many hearts or people's lives you're impacting. Until when you go out, I love jumping into Ubers, for example, when people was like, oh, I was just watching you on social media.
Right.
I heard your show yesterday. Thank you for what you did. And people thank you for comments and people, especially people that have gone through dark times, sad times. I have so many people that says, hey, I was going through a very difficult time after a divorce or during a serious depression, and I was thinking about doing something stupid, and you talked me out of it. And that is the power of radio. It's everywhere. It's free. We connect, and we're blessed to have people that listen to us. And congrats to you guys too. You guys did an amazing job feeding and helping people that lost a lot of their belongings. Yes, I live in Miami. Us Floridians are accustomed to, and we're always praying that the hurricanes that
100%.
get predicted every hurricane season don't come our way.
We're all family in Florida.
Right.
We're all a family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in Miami, in Hialeah, all the Cuban grandmothers, they light up all the candles and they start praying to all the you know, all the Santos. So all the, not the Santos like Enrique Santos, but the Saints, the Santos.
Yeah.
So that all the hurricanes get get deflected. That thing, Helen, was coming straight towards Tampa, where they were saying originally, and then it went a little further north. Thank God, shifted. But you know, we're talking about like 200 people that died during the storm.
Yeah, 215.
So sad, right?
It is.
So this is real, and when you're able to, anyway, when I landed here in Tampa to see houses that were flooded out and see people's couches and all their belongings out in front of their houses, it puts things into perspective, you know. And it's amazing to be able to help out and put some joy back in people's lives and let them know that, you know, the sun is gonna, even though you're going through a dark day today, tomorrow the sun's going to rise again.
Better.
And it
will get better.
100%.
And Enrique was a part of that effort. As a team, as a family, more than $70,000. That's the latest update. I heard that it is close to, and it might be over $80,000 now, that our community, that our family, that Tampa Bay has raised for our family. We're like 10,000 pounds of food and stuff like that. But
amazing.
Also, you supported that, which thank you for that. And then to go out and to take these listeners out and family, like, you genuinely care. Like, I don't think people really realize, and I hope that you guys do. Enrique Santos is so much more than the megastar that you are. I genuinely am so honored when I asked Dennis yesterday. I'm like, could we maybe get him on? And Dennis go
all the times you want, of course. How humbling, and thank you for those kind words. But
I hope you know you have a great reputation too with the whole company.
You do.
No one ever said, because listen, people can get negative in our business and whatnot. Yeah. I've never heard a bad thing about you.
Thank you. Listen, I'm not perfect. I definitely got a lot of things that I got to work on. But what I've realized through the years doing radio is, again, the power that we have to positively impact people's lives and to better people's lives. And, you know, us radio people, especially when we get into it, it's all we think about, and we all go through it. We have egos that we deal with, and it's all about us. And I want to hear myself on the radio. I want to hear, and I want to talk about what I want to talk about.
Yep.
But then you realize with time, and I realized early on in my career, wow, this is powerful. And if I turn this around, instead of me listening to myself talk all the time, I want to hear what you got to say. I want to hear what my listeners got to say, and they dictate, you know, what my show is going to be. They dictate what direction I should be focusing my energy and the topics that we discuss. So it's great. I think we're all blessed to have an opportunity, especially in this historic time in our country where there's so much division. There's so much hate. There's so many things that pull us apart. There's more things that bring us together. Yeah,
and it's time that we need to realize that, and it's okay to have differing opinions, guys. It's okay. We don't get political on the show, but it is totally okay if we are all people and we can all get along.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you got to get back to the show, right?
I do kind of got a show. I got a radio show that's at the same time as yours.
95.7 Rumba. You need to listen at some point, because I don't know if you have enough time. You got to tell everyone the story about Fidel Castro and what you did.
You got 30 seconds, quick?
Yeah. Do it.
Fidel Castro. So when I started in radio, I've been prank calling people since I was a kid. And so I'm a former full-time police officer turned radio broadcaster. I'm still a reserve City of Miami police officer. But anyway, when I started in radio and left my police car to do radio full-time, one of the first things we did was a prank call to Hugo Chavez, the dictator of Venezuela. And then from that call, we took snippets and called Fidel Castro. Historic calls. They're not so much funny as in they're historic. You can Google it. You can read and you can actually hear the calls there. But yeah, that kind of put me on the map as far as, you know, an official prankster, inspired by I'm going to age myself now, but back in the days, the Jerky Boys. If
could you guys imagine that? Oh, by the way, I have no idea.
Yeah,
who that is.
Could you imagine
that? I knew I was aging myself. Famous pranksters from New York. They even did a movie called the Jerky Boy movies. Bunch of prank calls, and those guys inspired me to do prank calls when I was a kid.
Enrique Santos.
Thank you.
You hear him all around the country. Fiesta Latina, iHeartRadio.com/Fiesta Latina. Tickets are on sale. You got to go. I called Dennis. I'm like, can I get tickets? I want to get over there. So hopefully I'll be seeing you there too. Thank you so much for coming.
So you are going?
I'm going to try to, yeah.
Yeah, but be careful because Dennis has been known to scalpel tickets and stuff. Yeah, so, you know.
It's funny. He's giving me tickets, and the next thing he goes, hey, it's I actually just resold it on ticket.
Hey, bills got to be paid. Bills got to be paid.
Enrique, thank you,
buddy.
Thank you so
I'm gonna
much.
Play a song right now just so I can give you a hug.
I
The Joe
know.
Show is awesome. Thank you so much. And thanks for all the love with On the Move every weekend right here on FLZ.